Hi, everybody. This is lesson 2 on the alternatives to four-year colleges. This lesson is about the military and choosing to enlist within it. There are two military lessons. This is the first one. Now, this is near and dear to my heart, and I know some of you within my classroom aren't ever going to go in the military, or maybe haven't thought about it, and that's okay. But most of you in here will know a friend that might have the option to do the military or that might be thinking to themselves, I'm not sure where to go. And this information could help you kind of push them in that direction or give them guidance. That's what this whole thing is about. Is it's not just about you in these lessons. It's about what can you do for others around you. Because sometimes people or friends or family are going to reach out to you. Maybe a family that's younger than you as they come up. They'll ask, man, what do you think I should do? And you can say, well, check out the military because when I was in high school, I learned about these things and the cool opportunities that you can do. Some of you it'll work, some you won't. I've known quite a few students that have gone in. I'm curious to see how they do as time progresses. But as for you, keep an open mind as we're going through this process because one of the coolest things about keeping an open mind is just kind of understanding that your life is a journey. You don't know where that journey is going to take you. And so, as we go through each one of these little careers and kind of side steps, just think about that and just kind of keep an open mind. Don't say, well, this one isn't for me. I'm not going to listen. Try it out. You never know what could happen, right? Okay, the biggest thing at the end of all of this is that before you make any rash choices, talk with your parents or your guardians. They're the ones that will give you wise counseling as well. This is just kind of an introductory to things. So we're going to learn a lot of things in here. There's what we're going to learn. You guys can read those things. Here's the discussion prompts. What do you think some of the requirements are off the bat? Go ahead and type in your answer there, and then I'll wait a little bit for you. All right, so the second piece right here. So 6 things to consider when researching the military. Hyperlink once again, ladies and gentlemen. When I click on that, we'll see where it takes us. And did I get it? I don't think I did. Sorry, let me do it again. There we go. All right, a couple different things. So there's a couple articles I want you to read. This is the first one. This is actually pretty cool. 6 things to consider when researching the best military branch. Questions that you should consider before enlisting. Mainly, they're about you. What are your interests? Here's a little diagram from it. What are your interests? What skills are you bringing to the table? Have you been fully informed? Are you willing to make a commitment? The military is a commitment. What do you want to do in the future? And then where do you want to live? Those are some things. So, as you go through this article, like I said before, take the opportunity to go through the hyperlink. I'm going to skim through this really quickly. And then you guys can come back later, we'll look at it, and you can see more in depth. On the left here, there's military branches, careers, pay and benefits, retirement, family programs, tons of information that most people don't really realize is there. Okay, so what are your interests? There's a lot of different things in here. There's a military 101 or choosing a military service branch that kind of would help you out. I do know from practical things, the Marines are more of a community, a family, a brotherhood. You go in there and you learn some skills, but that's not really what that area is about. But that's where you would go in and kind of get a bond with special people. The Army has the most career opportunities in terms of vast, ranging from the medical Army Medical Corps to even building to being a mechanic on maybe tanks or cars or the military vehicles, to a wide range of different things. The Navy, they have two different programs. If you most of the time when you think of Navy, you're thinking of being on a ship. Yes, there is that component, but there's also the Navy Seabees, which is a construction aspect where they teach you basically how to do all the different construction things that you want to do. The Air Force is another one. They're mainly looking for mechanics, so for airplanes. So if you think you want to be work on an airplane or even fly in one, not necessarily be the pilot, but there are some things called heavy loaders where you would fly in the giant heavy loaders where you would load it up and then you would fly with the airplane to the destination. And then it's a load master. And then there's the often overlooked Coast Guard and even the Army National Guard. Those two branches of the military I don't really know a lot about. That would be something that where you would have to do more research on. But look at the skills that you're bringing to the table. There are 800 plus enlisted jobs available. Tons of opportunity. Are you willing to make a commitment? You got to understand, though, that this is most of the time a 4-year commitment. Sometimes it is a 6 years, but most of the time it's 4. 6 would be depending on the level of technical skill that they give you. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Most of the time you guys will go in, you'll get to travel, you'll be able to go and see different places around the world, but that does depend on the last thing, is where do you want to live? Military bases all over the place. And what do you want to do in the future? Like I said, some jobs can be translated well into the military. I was an airplane mechanic. I enjoyed it for 7.5 years. I was in for almost 8. But the big key thing is that, I didn't want to fix airplanes when I got out. But I did learn a lot of valuable skills when I was in there, how to organize, how to be strong, how to basically, they taught me a lot of life lessons that I took into the real world, and it has made me beyond successful. I know when you guys look at me and say, well, you're a teacher. Yeah, but I'm one of the best. All right. Now, after you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and answer these questions here. There's a couple things, and give a response. All right, next, are you considering enlisting in the military? Which of the branches would you have? There's a little infogram here. It's going to pop up. And then I already zoomed in on this. Now, if you pop this up originally, ladies and gentlemen, it's like really tiny. So are you considering? Here's a couple things. It's a big decision, right? So simple. Are you a U.S. citizen? Most of you are. I think everybody in my financial algebra class is. If you are not, then are you a lawful permit with a valid green card? You can do that, but you may get fewer jobs. There's an age limit. Now, you can enlist at 17, but once you become 18 or older, you can decide at any time. And you don't have to decide this year. My oldest son was going to wait. He actually, after a year going to college, wanted to join the military, but because he had asthma, he was not able to. You don't have to be right out of high school. You do need to have a high school diploma now. If you have a GED, your options are limited. Not a lot of the branches take GED educations anymore. You will have to take the ASVAB. Most of you may have done that last year, which I know we gave. And then you have to pass a physical exam and meet weight limits. Each one has different things that you can do. First thing you would do is contract a recruiter. They're all over the place, easy to get a hold of. And then you would report to MEPS. And then 3, await orders for basic training. Miss Bushima in the Career Center has a lot of information. I know you can't really see her, but you can email her. And I'll try to see if I can get that information to you. If you have any questions, email me, and then I can get her to you. So look at that infogram, answer these 3 questions, pause the video, and then we'll move on in a little bit. All right, the 4th one, enlisting in the military. What's going to happen is once you do enlist in, what they want to do is kind of show you a precursor of what you're going to go through. And you're going to go through what's called the Military Entrance Processing Station. I remember this like it was yesterday going through this process. And so there's a little YouTube clip that they have here. And so what I'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll play this and watch it together. And I will load it up on YouTube.
I am Commander Kathy Masar. I'm the commanding officer of the Boston Military Entrance Processing Station. MEPS is the place where applicants come to process into the armed forces, and we are responsible for ensuring quality accessions into the armed forces during both peacetime and during times of mobilization. Well, the day starts, given that the applicant has stayed at the contract hotel overnight, they are given a wake-up call at 4 in the morning, breakfast there at the hotel, and so they're here at the MEPS shortly after 5 o'clock in the morning.
My name is Staff Sergeant Michael Weil. I am the MEPS liaison when it comes to anybody for the Air Force. The applicant will come in the morning and sit down with the liaisons, and we will go over what their day is going to entail and what they should expect. And yeah, normally at about 5:15, 5:30 when they do show up, we are the first face that they get to see in the morning.
Long gone are the days where applicants are herded into various, large rooms and impersonally treated. We have moved into a red carpet treatment for our applicants where they are treated with dignity and respect.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Sean First Class Ketchum. I'm the Operations NCOIC here at the Boston MEPS. We reassure them throughout the day, all the time. I mean, yeah, when they first come up on the floor, they come very early in the morning. Once we get them signed into the MEPS, we get them all in one area and we give them the morning brief. Once we get down here, you're going to go over to the medical folks. You're going to get a medical briefing and run through that process, okay? Once the briefing's done, you're going to get an exam. You're going to meet with the physicians, okay, and you're going to go through that. Once you're done in medical, you're going to go down to your service liaisons. You're going to sit down with a counselor, and you guys are going to negotiate a job, all right? Once that's complete, you'll come over to the processing section. All right, we'll do what we have to do over there. Get you ready to swear in. Take the oath of enlistment, and then we'll set up your transportation to take you home.
When they do understand the entire process, then we try to make sure that everybody is on the same page, and that if there are any concerns, hopefully that an individual feels comfortable enough to raise them before we get started on the day. And that way they have a nice, smooth process. They know where they're going, where they're coming from, and then when they come back to see us, they're in a good mood because they know one more spot is done.
I've tried going to school, tried regular jobs, and nothing excited me.
Family full of Marines. Uncle did 32, my father did 23, and that'd be awesome to join as well, become a part of Brotherhood.
And, I found some opportunities that can be used with my degree and all that kind of stuff, and they offer a lot of, gainful things for what I want to do in the future.
We are privileged to have them come into the military. This is a voluntary service. This is not a draft era, and so it is important to us and to each of my staff to treat those who are interested in serving their country with the respect that they deserve.
One thing I want to make sure you guys understood is when you're watching that, you see there are a lot of different uniforms. There was the Army. There was the lady at the end. She's a lieutenant colonel. She's in the Navy. And so it's a lot of different things and aspects of this as you go through. So what I want you guys to do is enlisting in the military. Here's a couple different things. And just write down what you think the first thing is going through would be. And then the last thing here, guys, is the ROTC programs. Not a lot of people talk about these, but these are actually programs that are offered in a college environment. So it's a college program. Basically, they have a video here. I'm not going to really watch this one real quick. Well, we might, because it kind of goes through the typical day of a gentleman doing the ROTC in the Army.
My name is Ryan Cho. I am in the Army National Guard and my rank is cadet. I currently attend Columbia University in the city of New York. My major is political science with a focus in American politics. I actually always wanted to serve in the military, but for my family, definitely, and for myself, education was a priority. I actually didn't know about the National Guard until I entered college and didn't know about that reserve option, and that allowed me to both attend college and serve in a branch of service in the military and serve the country. The Army National Guard understands that a lot of the new people that enter are going to be younger and are actually attending school, because that's one of the benefits of being in the Army National Guard. So I actually enlisted under what's called the Split Option Program. The Split Option Program allows you to attend basic training during the summer and then attend AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training, the next summer as well. And so you're able to split that training up so that you're not missing school time, but you're also able to start your service. So in ROTC, we have kind of three different types of trainings. One is physical training, of course. Then part of our training is devoted to military science classes. That's where we're learning tactics and how to apply different principles of military strategy. And then in lab, we're taking what we're learning and applying that in a practical setting. So we'll actually be leading soldiers, doing simulations and drills in order to make sure that we understand those principles that we're learning in class. Time management is really important, and that's one of the things that they stress in the training for becoming an Army officer. And at the end of the day, if you do that time management, not only am I able to participate in all these different activities, but I'm also able to have a social life, go out with my friends. Hurricane Irene was actually my first activation. So that, was basically why I joined the Army National Guard, not only because I wanted to serve my country, but also the state. And so being able to be activated and participate in a mission that was, helping my neighbors and my fellow classmates in New York City was just an amazing and grateful experience. I think the military is a great option for people looking to serve, not only because you're able to contribute back to your country and state, but you're also able to develop yourself personally and get education, military training, and a lot of personal development out of it as well.
Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little short video too. But one of the things is with this is the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and then the Air Force does also offer an ROTC. If you guys are interested in any of those things, like I said, go through the hyperlinks that are on the paper that I gave you guys and enjoy that and look. Answer these questions, and then please go ahead and get into the exit ticket and answer that. And that's it. Lessons 2 is over with. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little sneak peek into enlisting, and then I look forward to showing you guys the next one. Remember, be safe, be well, and I'll see you guys hopefully soon in any of my class online sessions that we do.